Leeds United made the most of their second chance in the European Cup against Stuttgart, the team they say has more foreign reserves than the Bank of England. Leeds won 2-1 in Barcelona in front of a tiny crowd. Their hero was Shutt. He scored the winner less than a minute after coming on as a substitute, and tomorrow's his birthday.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to episode 182 of the Talking Shut podcast, live from my living room.
The Talking Shut sofa.
The Talking Shut sofa. Got some serious Chapman, McAllister, and who's the other one? Chapman, McAllister, and Batty vibes.
Who's who?
Three of us. Yeah, who's going? I want to be David Batty. Can I be David Batty? So that makes you.
Go on, Mike. You can choose next.
Chapman or McAllister? Are you going with?
McAllister.
Albert Chapman, then the goal scorer.
Yeah, sound. So yeah, there's a bit of the vibes going on.
I don't know why I love you, but I love you.
Okay,
all right.
Some
nice.
Some admissions. There you go. Anyway, Welcome to Talking Shut podcast 182. We're obviously brought to you this evening by the fine individuals at the Terrace. So we'll hear a little bit about them a little bit later on. Obviously, we're live on YouTube and Facebook. If you've got any comments, I'm sure there'll be many in there when we get into the show. Please get involved, and we'll try and make it as interactive as possible. So let's start at Ellen Road on Sunday in what can only be described as a monsoon. The weather was a bit grim, wasn't it?
The whole day. Can we just start from when? How did you feel when you woke up?
I've been severely depressed.
I went on a roller coaster
since you woke up on Sunday morning.
Well, yeah,
I was just for a long time.
For a long time, anyway. But yeah, it's been grim, hasn't it?
I went on a roller coaster of excitement, nerves.
I was exactly the same. I think
a bit more
put that in the
nerves.
group chat.
Yeah, I was a bit like you, mate. Yeah,
it was really tiring.
Yeah,
I think I was tired before I got to the game because it was I'd get excited and then I'd get nervous because I were excited and then I'd get excited because I was nervous.
And then you got to ground and there was a hefty police presence that I've not seen.
Oh,
the police, for a long time.
No, but the police were absolutely stupid because they literally shut the whole ring road off just for 4 buses of Man United fans. And I thought they'd made this little bus route thing coming off. If you know Leeds, you can literally get on the M621 from the station quite easily, get on there, and then come off at the first junction for Ellen Road and onto the little slip road into the bus bit and then to the back of the stand and in there. But no, they shut the main traffic way in sort of that side of the stadium off.
Yeah.
And it was just awful to get to the ground. I literally got there in time for a wee for teams going out.
Well, we
were setting off an hour and a half before because I knew it was going to be busy.
Well, me and I did park at Sulzer now, up
up Ring Road.
Yeah, up Ring Road. And we walked down, and by the time we got there, it was really wet because it got proper pissed it down. But we decided to walk around.
Well, in that as well as it being wet, the Ring Road down my side, so Wortley.
Yeah.
Bramley to Wortley, sort of Ring Road, that had started flooding.
Yeah.
So that didn't help.
No, it weren't. It weren't a good day for sport, shall we say?
No. Good day for ducks.
Good day for ducks. Yeah. The game in general. Then, how did you feel before the game? I know we've got the beauty of hindsight now, where we look back and go, "Well, I felt like this," but genuinely, I genuinely felt like we could get something.
Yeah.
They are a poor side. The great footballing bastion that is Manchester United, which we'll talk about a bit more.
And I really thought the atmosphere could be a leveler, and I think it was for a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, the atmosphere was brilliant. Like I said, got there sort of just before the teams came out.
Yeah.
But
well, even before that, mate, even 20 minutes before that, the ground was as full as I've seen it. Because the South Stand were cheering every shot that Man United missed in the warm-up, which were quite hilarious. The game started well, didn't it? We started well again.
Yeah.
And this is where the two performances, not even performances, the two games, the last two games, obviously, which we'll talk about Liverpool in a bit.
The first chance fell to us. What more can you say?
Yeah, that's what hurts more. No, it doesn't hurt more, but the fact that we started well in both games, you think, all right, okay. So it might like you guys might be different, but when we play the top teams, as in like the big teams, I wouldn't say Man United are a top team.
Sorry, can I just interrupt here because we've got the Arsenal game on.
Yeah,
and Enya Luko's there, and it looks really bad that she's got a wig on.
Oh, really?
Is that a wig? Just next time it goes close up, have a look.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's very noticeable. Anyway,
it sounds like a bit of a spin-off Twitter account. Enya Luko's wig.
But I might start that one.
Yeah, a different story. But going back to the game, for the first 20 minutes, we're in the game. We're causing them problems. We're creating stuff.
It was quite a good battle game. It started off 100 mile an hour, really, didn't it? It was the game that everyone wanted to see. Everything. If you thought Leeds versus Man U, and that's what you're going to get.
There's a bit of fire.
They've got some good players, some world-class players. So they were always going to have chances and stuff like that. But yeah, we started off and I think we controlled a lot of it.
Yeah, I agree.
We had some good chances. Harrison one comes at him quick, I think, and maybe
it kind of hits across it, doesn't it? Which makes it sort of swaz away.
I'll say that much again on the atmosphere and the build up to it. There is no other game like Leeds scum in the Premier League. You can say all you want about Liverpool and Man City and that, but they're all basically the same club. End of the day, for all their rivalries that they have between each other, they're basically the same club.
Yeah,
they're all gentrified. You know, they're just placid, and I'd rather lose as a Leeds fan than win as a fan of them clubs any day. And there you go.
So for me, I felt like the turning point was Robin Koch getting his pretty bad cut.
Assaulted.
Pretty bad cut.
Do you mean that yellow card challenge?
Yeah, he didn't even get booked for it.
I've seen people get sent off in rugby league for stuff like that.
Yeah, it was a nasty one. But I felt like after that, because we made 3 changes to 1 substitute. I felt then that we conceded twice really quickly because we were all over the place, 6s and 7s.
And that's the first bit in it. That
was the first. Why are we changing?
Well, I was stood with Judd and I said, for me, he might either bring Bate on and do a like for like, or he puts Dallas into midfield, brings Firpo on, Firpo goes to fullback. You know, jobs are good, but we ended up with Ayling going from right back to centre back,
Dallas from left back to right back,
Strike going into midfield. And I'm sorry, I know he said in his post match that he named Strike, Phillips, and Cock as the holding midfielders, and omitted Forshaw. I'm still not comfortable with Strike.
You know, when
in there,
like I've never played other than Sunday League, but like you've got a defense, and to me, a defense always you never want to change anything with your defense unless you're forced to.
Yeah, same with like you never make a sub on a set piece because it knackers the organisation up.
Yeah, so like and okay, maybe you can change the Dallas for Cock thing, not Cock. Dallas for Cock and put in Fairport left back.
Yeah,
that seemed like you're not changing a lot there. You're keeping the other 3 untouched.
Yeah,
but then you change all of it pretty much.
Yeah,
because you can even think of left centre backs, right centre backs, because one moved over. Or Llorente moved over, and then he was a mess after that.
Well, it's defined as well because we're man for man. So you as a player, your entire build up to the game is based on your man who you're gonna have for 90 minutes. Then all of a sudden it's different. Yeah, different physicality, different pace, different everything.
I noticed that a little bit last night as well at Anfield when there's a lot of times where players drop their man, someone else picks their man up, and they pick up their man.
Oh yeah,
but like at times, last night at Anfield, I know we're sort of flip flopping between the 2 games, but like players were actually looking round to find out where their man was, so they could go get him. And you never want that against world class sides because not world class sides because Man United are not a world class side against individual world class players.
Most expensive side
who
in the league.
Space. I mean, there were times last night when Thiago just found himself in so much space, because nobody tracked him, nobody picked him up. But anyway, back to the scum game. So we make that forced substitution because obviously Cox not feeling too good after getting that pretty bad smack on his head. And then
just on that, just going back to the challenge. At what point, like, is someone's head gushing from blood? Are you not thinking, all right, there's maybe something gone on here? Like,
mate, my argument,
the tone was
if he's just gone shoulder to shoulder and knocked him down, all right, fair enough. It's a big, a derby game, and it's going to be a bit rough. Fair enough, but once you get into sort of people's head, and there was literally blood all over his head. Once you get into that sort of realm, why are you looking at to what some kind of punishment.
Can I make 2 points? The Villa game, Meslier got elbowed.
Yeah.
That was the second yellow.
Yeah.
And second point, the tone was set when you see Robin Koch on the floor.
He's
what's
laughing.
the ref do? The ref is
Laughing.
laughing
Yeah.
and smiling,
Yeah.
and you're just like, oh, well, that's that game.
I think the thing with me, Ben, is that I think it's an accident with McTominay. He goes in to be
It's
strong.
not, no, it's not an accident. Well, maybe
Is
it's an
anything
accident
ever
for clash
really
heads.
It's a clash heads, I think, is accident. But he does go in with.
He's gone in with the intent.
Yeah.
Because he's not getting the ball. He's not going for the ball. He's gone in with the intent to hurt him because you're not going for the ball. So what else are you going in for?
But my argument with that is that he shouldn't have even been on the pitch to make that tackle at that point. He should have been sent off at that point.
After the Strauch Harvey Elliott thing as well, surely intent doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You know, I've looked at the extent of Koch's injury and gone, that's a red card.
The hypocrisy that's flying around at the minute is fucking monumental, to be honest. If you get right down into it, it's quite.
I mean, we know about Man United tax and all that stuff. We know about this.
Yeah. Well, so anyway, we find ourselves 2-0 down. The set piece from Harry Maguire is absolutely woeful.
On
by
that,
the way.
Was that the same one? I don't know if they did it all game. I noticed it a couple of times. Struijk was stood outside the area, marking McTominay.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, but that's just I can't understand it. You've got someone with height like Struijk, a centre back who's probably going to be better at headering. So why isn't he in the centre?
Yeah.
Whereas I think Dallas was marking someone else in the middle.
Yeah, Dallas was on Pogba.
Yeah, Pogba's massive. You don't realise until you see him live how sort of big he is.
I thought he was their best player.
He was unreal.
I was quite happy when they brought him off. Sound, bring Fred on, and then he scored.
Well, I mean, you can see he's a world-class World Cup winning player, isn't he?
Yeah.
The problem with him is he doesn't turn it on. Yeah, he's got to turn it on. But yeah, so you've got why not just swap that round? And if they've gone on this on the training ground, do they not question this? Like, I mean, because I think I would have, like, Sunday League, if someone says, like, I guess Sunday League, you say, right, you got 2 big lads, so you 2 biggest lads, go on these 2 big lads.
Well, that's what the goalkeeper.
Because you try and match that out.
When I was playing as a goalkeeper, that was your job. As a goalkeeper was to organise your
maybe
defense.
It's a bit different in the professional sort of it, because you've got all these people saying, oh, you've got to mark him and that. But just the whole thing, Dallas is going to be better off blocking a run from McTominay than trying to compete for a header in the middle.
Well, you look at
the same the other way around with Struijk. Struik's going to be better in the middle trying to header.
I also think that Mellier's got to be a bit cuter.
Yeah.
Like, come through the crowd and try and get something on it. And basically, if you don't get something on it, fall down, because 9 times out of 10, the keeper will get the benefit of the doubt. But he comes, he goes, he comes back, he stops.
But that's his confidence.
Maguire gets free, and
his confidence is through the floor.
He wasn't really that free. It was just he wasn't challenged.
Well, that's what I meant.
But that first goal as well, when you're looking in the box, there's 3 people. There's Maguire, Pogba, and Ronaldo. Of those 3 duels, doesn't matter whose head the ball lands on. We're not winning any of those 3 duels in the centre of the box.
I think one thing that is blatantly obvious for this team is that for our height in our centre halves, in terms of in that game, striking Llorente, we're bang average.
Well, it was
defending set pieces and attacking set pieces.
It was Erling on Ronaldo as well. I'm remembering now, and I was looking at it and going, Erling's not winning his duel, Dallas isn't winning his duel, Llorente is not winning his duel, so it doesn't matter where the ball lands. It's a goal.
By the way, it's fucking hilarious what's happened to Ronaldo at Man United, because they're trying to play him in a way that he can't physically play the game. They are literally not playing him to his strengths.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious because they use him as like this flagship, oh, look what we've got Ronaldo, and then literally like just kick the ball at him. The players, though, they've got Lukaku up front, not Ronaldo. It's quite funny. But anyway, back to the game. Now, this is a theme that I never want to see ever again. Centre half running the full length of the pitch and chipping our goalkeeper, which we've seen 2 games in the trot.
Mate. Yeah. Well, what did you say about how do you beat our man-for-man marking?
Get your centre back. Centre back.
Yeah, centre back.
But the thing is, though, this is the thing, and I think it's probably a confidence thing. At the very, very top level, or any level of football, a centre half should not be getting one-on-one with a goalkeeper.
Yep.
From anything other than scraps from a set piece.
Yeah.
A knockdown from a corner, something like that. The fact that Matip and Lindelof, who are, Lindelof,
I guess the whole thing with how Bielsa defends and sets up is you have that spare man.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing around it. Yeah. So I'm guessing your spare man picks up the runner.
Yes,
the man who's running with the ball. But it also comes down to the man marking thing that all it takes is people to pull their markers out the way and give them the space to run through. And then you're screwed, and nobody then passes anything on because everyone just stays with the man.
Yeah.
And it's just like an open door, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I can't recall Lindelof and the player building up into him scoring, but it's one of them where you just stand there and go, how's the centre half doing that?
Yeah.
At the Premier League level, how is the centre half scoring? Like, somebody just take him out. As soon as he gets beyond, and Harry Maguire did it earlier on in the game where he broke through and he realised they were too far out of position. So he knocked it clear, fell down. He weren't going to get anything, the ref. Then he gave it when Maguire started appealing. Did you see that earlier on in the game?
Oh, yeah.
But like, we just need to be a bit more cuter with that. We're still trying to nick the ball off to transition fast, where we need to actually just make sure that they can't score. Because now, 2 games up trot, centre half have scored from open play by running the full length of the pitch.
Yeah.
So somebody just kick him up in the air and just not let that happen. And I know that's a bit crude, but so at half time anyway, I spoke to a few lads in the COP in the under sort of concourse.
I never felt we were out of it at half time.
Mate, I was more pissed off the fact that we were in it. As daft as that sounds, I'm more pissed off the fact that we're in it and we're 2-0 down. And you look at it and you go, do you know what? They're probably going to try and shut up shop now. Really, they'll just fucking kill the game, slow it down.
Yeah.
And do you know something? I was going to mention it a bit later, but I'll mention it now. The great British fucking bastion that is self-appointed Man United of this great thing of we've won the Premier League. If I was a Man United fan, I'd be fucking embarrassed about the amount of times they rolled around on the floor. Bruno Fernandes carried on and just tried to kill the game and slow it down. This is meant to be Manchester United who go from the attack, they play the Manchester United way and blah, blah, blah. They're a fucking embarrassment for me, to be honest. An absolute embarrassment. I was more angry at that. And yet again, you've got an official who plays into the rhetoric of not speeding them up and blowing for little niggly bits of bollocks. He started giving everything, literally leaving it to play. And then second half tried to change his mind and blow for shitty little tips and taps.
Yeah, it was like once
rubbish.
Once the dam had opened, once one was given, it was just like, okay, I need to like.
But all leads.
Yeah, of course, mate.
There were, I mean, Al Wan-Bissaka don't get booked for that tackle on Harrison on the halfway.
On the break,
on the break. I don't know. And same as last night at Liverpool, there were another one. I can't
I'm not saying it. We
think,
people say like we should do more of that, but if we do that, we get yellow card. Just to sort of go on last night. Maybe it wasn't the best of tackles, but Fairport pretty much gets a yellow card on his first tackle.
Yeah.
And you think you go back to that game, the Man United game, that tackles were flying like that for fun.
Yeah.
And it's just all right. Different refs are different refs and all that, but
the one that got me was Strauch's first foul of the game, got a yellow card.
Yeah,
and it's just like, are you taking the piss? You're cautioning the clean players and letting the dirty players do what they want.
Sometimes, I mean, we saw it a little bit at Anfield last night, but I think sometimes it's an Ellen Road thing. We've seen it a lot this year where Leeds get a lot of yellow cards and the opposition don't for similar tackles and similar things.
The thing that was the reasoning behind the post that I made is that it's not a new thing. Like, I don't know if any listeners will remember, obviously David Beckham elbowing Lee Bowyer or Barthez stamping on Hart. It's not a new thing. No. Wan-Bissaka last season suplexing Costa. It's just part and parcel of. I think it is an Ellen Road thing. I think it's what we. I mean, the referees maybe let it go because it's part of the package of the Premier League, isn't it? Like, you can't have all boring games. You need some games that have got a bit of needle in them. And maybe it's just part of the spectacle.
Yeah. So anyway, halftime comes, ticks by. I was speaking to a few lads at COP. I had a few uncomfortable conversations with people saying, I think we're banging trouble, Dev. I think we're in serious bother. And I had to agree with him at that point. But then we come out second half. He makes positive changes, brings Gellard on, brings Rafinha on, and they make a difference.
As we've said, I mean, the whole dropping Rafinha, I mean, I guess it can't. At first, I thought it's his best, sort of as big as game, we need to play as best players. But then I thought about it and thought, no, James and Harrison's probably better, just more structurally better than
they'll track back a bit.
Yeah. And I thought, all right, that's fair enough. And then we've got Rafinha to bring on.
Yeah.
But then, bringing Rafinha and Joffrey on was probably the best pair of subs that Bielsa's done in at least 6 months.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was thinking that's the first time I've thought when we've made impact subs, that the opposition might, like fullbacks or defenders might be going, oh shit.
And the thing is, as well, on the face of it, what you get from Joffrey that you don't get from Dan James, although Dan James does do it a fair bit, is Joffrey will pick the ball up and run at centre half.
Yeah.
Dan James doesn't do that. And Joffrey terrifies people by doing that. So it made a positive influence. And obviously, what were we in front for 24? Well, how long were we in front when we got back? How long were we level to a piece? Wolves were just offside.
How
long were we in front? Level. I keep saying in front. We were never in front.
We scored a second on the 54th minute. They scored on the 70th.
15 minutes.
So, yeah. And for them few seconds when it were to a piece, it was fucking incredible.
Yeah,
the second goal went in.
The Rodrigo one, amazing. I guess, in a way, caught everyone off. But the sort of it threw it down at half time, and maybe it were a bit of a leveler. I joked to my mate, I said we've signed Terence Rain as a torrential rain. That's his best January signing. But yeah, the rain maybe helped us a bit. It kind of, I'd say, probably maybe swung things back in our direction a bit. We seem to get more from it, and it seemed to put them off.
Yeah.
But Rodrigo then breaks down the wing with nothing sort of on, and maybe it were a bit of the wind. Were it a cross? Because it seemed very deep for a cross.
Definitely a cross.
It was a very bad cross.
It was Alioski-esque.
Well, take it. Yeah, no.
But it goes in. It's brilliant. What a goal. And that set everything up, didn't it? And then after that, they seemed to really slump. And we were flying in for tackles. I mean, as it just sets up the second goal. Fernandez gets the ball. I think they play it to defence. Fernandez gets the ball back to him. And Forshaw just comes and nicks it off him. And then he's rolling. My Twitter.
What's a fucking dick.
You have your picture at your back of your Twitter thing, at the top of your Twitter feed thing. My picture is Fernandez laid on the ground and the Leeds fans cheering.
God.
From after when we scored. Because that just summed everything up. It was like he took the ball cleanly and Fernandez is crying on the floor. We broke, we got across, Rafinha's there, 2-2. I mean, I've got bruises all up my legs still. It hurts quite a bit, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like you said, it's the best sort of minute
we're incredible.
that I've witnessed in a ground for probably a long time.
I think I put it akin to Beckford's winner against Bristol Rovers. When we, that was kind of the feeling at 2-1.
I got like Dallas against Man City, second goal.
Yeah, post the goal. I can sense that. Yeah,
but it's a bit different. I suppose it's kind of a bit different in the ground as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it was just loud.
Bedlam.
It was
Bedlam,
crazy. Yeah,
we're good.
And then it kind of just
we had that chance, didn't we, where we could have gone 3-2 up. Click, and then Gellard as well. It's De Gea at 2-2, and you think if we get that kind of swings game a little bit, they start to panic. They have to come out, and then obviously they bring Fred on. He then gets their third. A lot of people battered Meslier for getting beat at his near post like that. Agree, disagree? Feel it's a bit harsh.
I guess there's the thing that you shouldn't get beat in near post, but sometimes it just gets hit that hard that you're literally just throwing your arm to try and stop it. And you don't know where it's kind of going.
It happens. It happens, and
I think it's more. I mean, did they score that because we were going for the third and we'd left too many?
Well, it was that time when we'd made about 27 forward runs in about 3 seconds, and Firpo's legs just exploded.
Oh, was it the pass? Was that the? Oh,
that was after the pass. So
right.
There was the pass that.
Right. Oh, okay. Then the pass from Struick to Firpo was an awful idea.
A terrible pass to me.
A really bad. And I think I saw a lot of people slating Firpo.
Yeah.
But he had a lot to do with that. I think the Wan-Bissaka was right on him.
Yeah.
And then he had to bring that in that pitch as well. I mean, maybe you didn't see it as much on TV, but
it was bad, wasn't it?
Oh, there was water splashing around everywhere. That it's probably nearly as bad as when we played AC Milan in the Champions League.
But credit to our horticultural team, it drained very quickly because about 10 minutes after. Oh, Wolves have got a chance. 1-0 Wolves
to finish.
1-0 Wolverhampton Wonders. The Messiah that is the Ramsdale fucked up. Anyway, back to our game. Yeah, it drained very quickly, didn't it? But then,
well, you think with the money we spent on that pitch, it should do.
Yeah, exactly. But then at 3-2,
maybe to be honest, it probably drained too quick for us.
Yeah, we could have done with
because that's a bit of a leveler that we were getting the look on the pitch. Yeah.
Then obviously that makes it 3-2, and then they get us again from Strout's mistake. To be fair, trying to be a little bit cute, which he's been guilty of a bit this season. Actually, did it against Everton as well. Trying to be a bit cute.
And that whinge bag just flicks it past him.
Yeah, whinge bag flicks it past him, and that's all she wrote. 4-2, and you think 4-2 flatters him. I thought we were good for a 3-2 or even a 2 apiece, but
it were gutting, wasn't it? That
that was how it ended.
So that was a bit of a tough one. But do you know what? Obviously, me and you, Ben, sort of tag teamed the BBC article this week, and I kind of said, and even traveling to Anfield last night to the people in my car, I said, while ever there's fight and desire, and we're on the front foot, and we're trying to, I'll have faith, because teams who get relegated look dead and buried in the run up. They've got no fight. They concede lots of goals. Blah 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 blah. So
and that wasn't us against Man United.
No, it wasn't us against Man United. Now, moving on to Anfield last night, which is.
But even though, just before we do move it, like the feeling after that, like the fight and the desire, and I think I felt that as much as we'd lost, I felt great that we'd had that moment.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, whatever happens this season, if we stay up, hopefully, no one will really remember the results and stuff like that. But everyone will remember that moment, because it was just one of them at football that you'll always remember.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I agree. And that's what, like you said, that's what you go to football for. Them moments. But ultimately, we'll not remember them moments if it spells relegation for us this year.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still would. If we stayed up or went down, I'd remember that moment just because of how good it was. And that's the... I guess if you go to football, you don't go to football. If you don't go to football, you don't... I mean, as good as it have been watching it and what have you, to be like with your mates and like the guy in front, I grabbed the guy on the shoulder, like the guy in front of me, I grabbed his shoulders and I was just shaking him. And my mate Wardy said, I've never heard a man scream, but I did. Like saying about me. And that's what it was like. It was literally mental.
Well, I picked my lad up and I forget now that he's nearly 13. He's quite heavy. Bust an hernia. Quite painful. We'll get a couple of comments in, then we'll talk about the game at Anfield last night. Simon Reeves says, good luck with this one, folks. Jim Ogden says, cozy. Yeah, it's quite nice, isn't it? It's a bit of a different feel on sofa. We've had Judd making us a cup of tea, and I've got a couple of beers on going. We set up in his front room. It's nice. Simon Reeves says, the sofa midfield. That's what, that game. David Lofthouse says, where do we go from here? We'll get into that in a bit. Josh Hicks says, evening, lads. Good evening. And Gordon White says, evening, fellas. Is Marcelo's intransigence going to cost us dearly? We'll talk about that.
That seems like a big word.
That is a big word. Football's that bad you're talking about traffic. That's Jim Ogden. Yeah. It was a proper old school game. That's John Mattison, and fair over a few bits that we'll talk about in a bit. So moving on to Anfield last night. My words in the car was a good performance, as in a performance. I still expect to get beat. I'll take it.
Yeah.
That was not what we got.
That was the general consensus.
We got 15 minutes of being very good.
We started well.
Very good for 15 minutes.
And again, similar to the Man United game, that we had chances. They were always going to have chances.
Yeah.
And it felt another good game. And then we get, as much as I agree it's a penalty, because what else can you say? It hits him on the arm, but he's madly unlucky.
Yeah, he is. But like I pointed out in the group, and it's been sort of super critical. If you watch the Leeds United highlights back, you can see Raf making no attempt to chase Andy Robertson, who's his man, which means that Dallas has to try and stop the cross, which means he's 10 yards further away from Robertson.
Running backwards.
Hence he's in the box. So then obviously it's fizzed at him, it's his hand. If Raf's tracking his man, that hitting of the hand happens outside the box if it hits his hand, if that makes sense. And
it's especially like a bit of pill to swallow as well, because last time we were at Anfield, they got 2 penalties as well.
Yeah,
and it's just like,
I mean, it is a penalty, but you think, fucking hell, you're killing us here. And
it kills the game.
And then, to be honest, like, I think
not so much a Liverpool or a referee point, it was just luck.
Yeah. And that's the thing in it, when you're down there and you're struggling, which we are,
and you're playing against the best teams in the world and what have you.
Yeah, exactly.
a little bit. Yeah.
All right.
Little bit of luck wouldn't go amiss.
Yeah. So then we won down, and then
sounded like Luke Ayling after his Man United interview.
Bless him. And then before you know it, we're 2-0 down, and then before you know it, it's 3-0, and you think, oh, for fuck's sake, if we could just like get to half time and see what he can do, and see if we can shore it up or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, watching it from behind the goal, it's a bit disheartening to see.
The whole confidence in the team just went. Everything then started going wrong again.
They'll start blaming each other.
When was it when
Meslier and Ayling were having set to?
Meslier told Ayling to fuck off. And,
no, and we had that against Scum as well. Llorente and Meslier when they had that moment where he totally just loses the ball. Old Llorente and ends up lifting it over Meslier going out. But yeah, I mean, we could sort of analyze the rest of the goals, but I feel like we just need to talk it as a bigger package. Last night,
well, the same thing happens again with the second run. The defender running through like a 1-2, and then he just pings it in.
But again, I know it's easy to watch back, but Strout looks over his shoulder, then for some reason goes towards the ball and doesn't track his man.
We were doing that a lot. That's what I noticed of last night. For some reason, we were doing both of the centre backs just doing like this jump forward. But they jump forward and then get flat-footed, and then Liverpool would just go, "Oh, I'll step to the side and go past you." Then,
to be fair, with the Matip goal last night, if Strout just continues to follow Matip, he cuts it out. But for some reason, he goes over there, where we've already got Dallas over. I think it was Dallas over there, whoever it was. I know Firpo. Already got Firpo over there. He goes over there, and then the ball gets played in behind him, and
this is where
it's like it's panicking. In it, it's like headless chickens play this. It's like I think it is just panicking, and when you're running at the ball and not tracking your man, I think that's just pure panic.
I mean, I'm like I said earlier, I've only ever played Sunday League and what have you, and I'm not got any coaching badges or like that. But you taught, and maybe I'm wrong, but you taught like a defensive line, and you stay in your defensive line,
as a unit,
and there would be no problem there with Struijk staying and letting Matip come to him if that's what was going to happen. Because as soon as he steps out and creates that angle, it's lay off, pass through.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it's just simple stuff. And are they taught to do that because it was happening that often? Have they said, get out and close them down quickly?
Well,
and if they're doing that, why? I can't understand it. And
I always feel
what is the plan there?
I always feel for me, mate, that the Liverpool game and the Man United game when we get caught, it's when we're trying to be cute.
Yeah,
like there's a time for it. Like instead of just winning your tackle, but we're trying to be cute to transition into attack, which is when we've got confidence and we do that, we do it well, and it causes teams problems. But you're like when it got to game last night, I remember looking at the game, it kicked off and thinking, right. Don't concede in 15 minutes. We'll play the quarters. Don't concede in 15 minutes. Get through 15 minutes. Let's get through the next 15 minutes. Let's try and build ourselves into the game.
These are all the simple things of football that any lad brought up playing football that you kind of learn, don't you?
Yeah.
And then that's what you taught. Maybe we're wrong when it gets to the professional sort of level. But them basics we just aren't doing at the moment. Like the simple stuff that you just aren't. You're not supposed to do. If you got a handbook, like we did everything against what a handbook could do.
Yeah, I'm also I'm spent on the Luke Ayling at centre back experiment.
Oh yeah,
I don't want to see that again. And I think
was Llorente injured?
I think he just got bombed, didn't he? He was
still. So you're going into say that whether he's had a bad game against Man United or whatever.
He's a proper centre half.
He's a proper
who has been excellent prior to his little slump.
And then we changed it at half time. We changed it.
Yes, against Liverpool.
Yeah,
we went three at the back. Robertson, Shackleton on.
So we put Shackleton at right back.
Yeah.
Which we swapped. Yeah, swapped with Dallas. Dallas went in the middle.
Shackleton at right back was just a dead.
I feel sorry for him because throwing him to the left.
I thought he did okay, to be fair.
Well, he did. But
every time he had the ball, he was at our corner flag.
He's a centre mid. He's a centre mid by trade. He's not played a lot. So, all right, you go chase this Luis Diaz guy who everyone's raving about. He's had a brilliant start. Yeah. But why not? You've got Charlie Cresswell there, who is a centre back.
Yeah.
Put a fucking centre back centre back.
Yeah. Do you think then, lads, if we address the elephant in the room, because social media has been awash with it, but do you think is this why fans are starting to get a bit frustrated that again we see we see one substitution that creates three moves on the pitch, and we see Dan James starting as a striker when we've got a striker on the bench. We see Luke Ayling starting as a centre-back when we've got a defender on the bench. All
you
that
can
type
see
of
it
stuff.
all happening, and it's been happening for weeks. We discussed it last week that I can't remember what game it was. Well, it was the Everton game.
Yeah.
We're doing things and making team selections and just thinking like, the whole thing, I think, was it Everton playing Click and Rodrigo together
to essentially attack-minded midfielders.
Which we had said we've said it for weeks and months that they can't play together, and I'm sure Bielsa said it himself. They can't play. They don't play well together or whatever. And then he goes and picks that team.
Yep.
You're thinking, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, you were quite frustrated before kickoff, weren't you? You put it in the group. I mean, it took me a bit to get it because obviously the signals toss in ground, but we've got all these senior players who need to play, so we'll play them. Well,
that's what the team felt like when it picked us out. It was like, I've got these senior players, so however they're going to play, we'll just play and we'll see. And you're going up against fucking Liverpool, one of the best sides in the world. You're going to get picked off.
Yep, which we did.
And it were obvious.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why people are starting to get fed up.
Yeah. Well, the barometer was Liverpool beat Norwich 3-1.
Norwich had a good go. They 1-0 up at one point.
That's your barometer, and it is as surviving in the league.
But as well, so I heard this earlier today. I can't remember where it was. It might have been on the square ball on the. So when we played Chelsea earlier in the season, which was, I think we probably should have won that.
Like the 3-2.
Yeah. And we played a bit differently. We maybe sat back a bit more. Why don't we do that when we're playing these teams?
Well, you see, mate, that
doesn't make sense.
That's one of my big frustrations because we've had a few people turning around and saying, but it's the Bielsa way. This is the way we play.
I've done it all the time.
That's all shit. Because last season we became very defensively solid in second half of the season.
You remember when we played against Barnsley and they absolutely pinned us back?
Not even that. We drew with City at Ellen Road last year. I think we drew with Chelsea at Ellen Road last year, from what I remember. Like big games, we beat City, so we proved that we can be defensively solid. But for some reason, we can't do it at the minute. We can't. We don't seem to set up in a way that allows us to do that.
Yeah.
Because we're playing Click and Rodrigo instead of an holding midfielder. I don't understand.
I mean, I feel sorry. Like go back to Cresswell. Cresswell played really well against the informed striker of the league at that point.
Yeah.
And then he's all right. He's been injured and what have you. Maybe going to get his chance before he got injured. But why not play a centre back?
Mate, for me, all the youth have had good appearances to the names. You know, they've all got credit in the bank for me, and they've all done enough to play. Certainly, if not for just the sake of resting senior players that need resting.
I'm not being funny. We're at a point where we're up against it. We're in a relegation battle, whether we like it or not, and we've got players who will keep featuring week in week out who are so badly out of form. It's blatantly obvious that they're so out of form. I put Ayling in that bracket. I put Llorente in that bracket in the last few games.
As much as we've played through with them out of form. So Ayling is a right back.
Playing as a centre half.
Well, that's making it even harder, isn't it?
It's a thing that you brought up, Gaz, that Bielsa's one of his big flaws is he likes to play players into form.
But that's all right if you've got one player who needs to play into form. Currently, our back three are all trying to play into form, and I'd put Meslier in that category as well. The last two games, all I've seen is Meslier falling out with that centre half.
I mean, from a goalkeeping point of view as well, all of the saves he made last season with his feet and at his near post, he's not doing any of that this season.
Mate, not even that. I mean,
his distribution's crap. He's not collecting balls.
His distribution's fine early on. As soon as we start going to shit, that's when it all goes to shit because he starts panicking because in front of him's a mess because we keep moving it round and changing it and all that stuff.
Yeah,
and
which is why he's resorting to going to the wingers.
Yeah,
because his front four.
But the wingers are midgets.
And
he braves it towards the wingers. And
like
last night, I was pulling my hair out. Well, there were times when we went long and Van Dijk were laughing his bollocks off.
Yeah.
Pair of slippers on, pipe on go, like heading it away for fun. And I'm thinking, what the fuck are we doing here? Why are we just pumping it long and letting Van Dijk just head it away? All timing. You just get frustrated by it. I mean, you know, we kind of covered the Liverpool game, but I felt a real shift last night, and social media is not a barometer of a Leeds fan base, to be honest, but I felt a real shift last night in terms of people are genuinely getting frustrated with. And the thing is, I think this is one of them subjects where you have to tread careful a little bit because this is not saying that Marcelo's not being arguably, for me, the greatest manager in our lifetime.
Yeah.
But he's had flaws all the way through his career. And unfortunately, his flaws are coming to the floor.
The flaws were only ever like one game or a couple of games, but we're going through games now where Bielsa is
doing the same
costing
things.
us.
Yeah.
It's not, I'll tell you what, it's not an issue with his coaching. It's never really been an issue with his coaching and bringing the best out of players. I think for me, it's been his recruitment. Like, this is the first season where his recruitment choices and whatever say he's got on the recruitment process has just been diabolical.
Right, so let's get into the difficult conversations. How would you feel if a club decided to dispose of Marcelo now and brought in a manager on an interim basis till the end of the season?
If you do it now, we're as good as relegated.
I agree.
You stick it out with the manager that we've got, with the playing style. I'd rather us at least try, because there's no managers out.
Who do you bring in?
Well, that's
to do
the
that?
thing. Yeah.
The squad that he's got, what he's got out of this squad, and in the time that, I mean, maybe you bring someone in and they just think, oh well, we're a bit freer now. Maybe they've just got too tight. I don't want to say fallen out of sort of with Bielsa, but they thought. I don't know how to sort of explain what I'm trying to say. They've sort of thought that with the pressure that Bielsa's got them under in how they play isn't helping. So how do they then, like, if someone else comes in and simplifies it a bit more, maybe that helps. But I can't. I think we have to stick. We have to stick with this now. We're in too deep.
Yeah, I agree.
The only person that's going to get us out of this is Bielsa.
Yeah, I agree.
And we hope that Cooper, as much as I've slated him at times, we need something different in there. And his stats from the sort of earlier in the season, the first half of the season, we didn't really ship a lot of goals, apart from the odd game. The Man United game. I think everything else was barely one goal. Phillips comes back, that shores that up, and hopefully Bamford.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm with you. I said last night in car with people I travel with, who said a few of them were like, I'd get rid of him now. And my opinion on that is that this squad is so finely drilled to his ways that any manager who comes in, by the time they'd change them to their ways, it'd be too late. We'd probably be as good as relegated at that point.
You have to understand what getting rid of Bielsa means. That means getting rid of all his staff, like everything that he's brought to the club.
And there will be players who've got Stockholm syndrome as well. Who will be devastated to see him go out the door, and rightly so as well.
But you're not just replacing the tactician. There's no, in most clubs that we've seen have gotten rid of a manager, there's usually an assistant manager that will come in who's worked under him.
Who sees
Bielsa, if he leaves, he takes
all the disciples.
Yeah.
But obviously we don't know this for sure. But do you feel that some of the players are losing faith because we're drastically out of confidence levels, and we're I mean, what is the start? 36 goals in 10 games or something? It's frightening. Like,
we have the worst defense in the league. That's just
it's 56 goals now all season.
Yeah,
but you look at that and you go, do the players think, oh, fucking hell, we're playing? I'll pick on Ayling, but we're playing Ayling at centre back again. Well, we've got X player on bench. Fucking hell, Dan James.
I'd be interested to know like how that works. Like maybe like an ex-pro could say, when you get a manager that you're not, are they always into it? It goes back to me when Leeds played Bradford at Valley Parading Cup.
Yeah.
And it was Hockey Day.
Hockey Day. That was the end of Hockey Day, wasn't it?
We were singing to Hockey Day. You don't know what you're doing. Yeah. And Matt Smith turned around and was like, just no, don't be saying that. We know it's our fault. And I was thinking, the players get to the point where they think this isn't working.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to find out.
I don't know whether that's a thing or what. Because
I think there's more of a lack of confidence in certain individuals in the squad rather than a lack of confidence in Bielsa, because they've got this far on his methods and his philosophies and stuff. I think it's more a case of...
And they've shown as a team that they know how to do it. They can do it.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's more to do with, like, they'll look at certain, even Luke Ayling and himself, I think he's trying, but he knows that it's
but
not
maybe
his
Luke Ayling, maybe he's at his peak here, but he needs a steady defense at side of him.
Yeah.
And that's where it all comes back to. And it's been that all season that we've never had a steady defense.
Well, mate, if you look at the last 3 games, we've had 3 different centre-back combos in the last 3 games.
We've had 3 different centre-back combos in one game.
I know, yeah, exactly. So that's not good.
And that says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's not good. We'll get a few bits here about Bielsa, actually, because I find it quite interesting.
Do we replace Bielsa in the summer?
I think. Well, I think it's out of his hands now. I think he's done enough damage now to where the board can go. We can actually do better than 17th.
But Marcelo, being the person he is as well, will appreciate that we've underachieved, injuries or not. He will know his own flaws.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he'll be sort of honest with himself. To be fair, I mean,
the love I have for Bielsa, I'd like to think that he gets another go next year with some
better
new players.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Fit players. If we had Bamford for a full season, if we had Phillips for a full season, because it's been a pretty long time, really. He was tired coming back from the Euros, and he never really kind of got going, I'd say. Yeah. He's not had his captain for a long time.
Yeah.
If it was another year, I think he would have to have a good start.
Mate, do you know what my opinion is? That if he sat down with the board in the summer, or however they do it, I don't know, to be fair, and the board went, okay, Marcelo, what is your plan for next year? And like he did in the season where we didn't get promotion, where he went, we're going to sign Elder Costa and we're going to do this.
Yeah.
If he turns around and says, I want these 5 players and I'm going to move these out and I'm going to carry a slightly bigger squad because I've appreciated that injuries have killed us this year and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And you look at it and go, yeah. But the worry I've got with it is that he won't do that.
Yeah.
Well,
he's a 60-odd-year-old guy, isn't he?
And the thing is as well, I fucking massively love and respect the fact that he won't change his philosophy. That's the thing as well. But I look at it and I go, in this summer, for me, the squad needs freshening up and certain players need phasing out. I know we talked about this at the beginning of this season. I just don't think Marcelo does that. I think he will try and get another season out of Luke Ayling, out of Matthijs Klick, out of Patrick Bamford. Not that Patrick Bamford can't do another season, but he's hardly played.
Yeah. But I think there's some players, like we said, are playing at the peak, and I think there's some players like your Luke Aylings, your Dallas, the core of the promotion side, who will go. They'll go, look, boss, I can give you 5 good games a season, but I'm fucked. I'm playing at my peak. You need to get.
I don't think they would, though.
Yeah,
I don't think they would. It's not the professional mindset, is it? No. It just don't work like that. Yeah. Like Dallas, I said, Dallas plays with an injury every single week.
Yeah.
So he ain't going to turn around to me else and go, I'm tired.
That I think I think it's Dallas.
Yeah, mate, Dallas is one of them that is James Milner. His leads as James Milner, basically. He'll still be here when he's 36, coming on as a left back. In wherever we are, kind of thing. But
in Champions League,
that's the niggling. In Champions, that's the niggling thing for me with Bielsa. I fucking love the man, and I hate to see that it ends on a kind of sour note.
The big fear for me is that he undoes what he's.
That's it. Yeah. And Leeds have got to continue to evolve, and if we don't evolve, we stand the risk of going backwards.
Yeah.
And if this season is not injuries aside, if this season is not a wake up call that could potentially happen, then we've seriously got to have a look at it. And like I said, and we'd never be privy to the conversation, but if Bielsa goes and sits down with the board and says, okay, the 49ers are coming in, they've got this money, I want this player, this player, this player, I'm going to carry a bigger squad, I'm going to move this player, this player, this player, whatever. Just show us some foresight, not I'm happy with with this, I'm happy with that. We're only signing Minamino if this under-23 winger goes out. That's the frustration.
Yeah. But I think you'd hope as well at board level they go, well, sorry, that's not good enough. You have to go.
But I don't think they would, because Bielsa's such a matriarch of the club. Like, he literally has the final say on everything. And I put it on Twitter today.
I don't know if the 49ers will
if I'm honest, I don't think the 49ers will give a fuck. Yeah, I don't think they'll care. Yeah. They would I think they would dispose of Marcelo.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're coming in for a bigger business, basically. Yeah. But I put on Twitter today because I was very interested about. Let me find it. I put on saying, what is people's opinion on would the club sack Bielsa? As in, would the club actually sack him? And we got 504 votes. 25% said yes, the club would, and 75% said no. And that's my opinion. The club would never sack him.
Radrizzani is staying as quiet as possible. He's not going to do anything to risk anything really. I personally think the deal is done and the amount is settled, 300 million or whatever it is. I think, it's just a case of riding it out for the current board. I don't think they'll ever go anywhere.
The thing is, as well, I don't want them to sack him.
No, of course. Yeah.
I want us to survive, get to the summer.
I mean, when has that ever worked for any team?
And let's have a nice mist. If it's going to be that Marcelo moves on, let's have a nice misty-eyed video. Let's have some nice words, and let's put him in the history books as being arguably the greatest manager of the modern era, post Revy. And let's do that. That's where I'm comfortable with now.
The man that restored
with it.
Leeds United back to the Premier League after the mess that we've had for the last 20 years. And that's how I wanted to be remembered. If, like you said, if he goes to the board and says, this is what we're going to do next year, and the board have got more money, which they should do, and stuff like that, and there is a progression to move the club into more of, because effectively we still have half a championship side.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, we move more into a team with Premier League players, and because there will always be sometime that transition that Bielsa's not going to be here forever.
Yeah,
I think if he, like I say, if he comes with a plan and says, this is what we're going to do, this is how I'm going to counter this, how I'm going to counter that, and stuff like that, maybe have another player that plays with like for Phillips and stuff like that. So we've got two players there, because that's been a big thing this season. We've not had a player as good as Phillips to play there. So so you get to that, and he offers that, and he gives the right vibes for that for the board. That's what they have to. That's up to them, the board, to decide. Maybe they want to go, if it's the 49ers that come in, they want to go a different route with the club totally, and Jesse March has been mentioned quite a bit. I think he was asked about it on.
And he didn't comment, did he?
Yeah,
it's very much. I mean, again, history repeating itself. It's very much a feel of like a Wilco through to like young and exciting.
Did he sell Batty and buy Carlton Palmer? Wilkinson. That were kind of
that's what I've said. Like even Howard Wilkinson, for what he achieved, which is you could say more than Bielsa. But
arguably that's what football's about. It's about evolution. You know what I mean? Yeah. Teams have to evolve.
Teams have to evolve. And I guess, I mean, I was 6 or 7 at that point when Wilco got sacked, but he didn't evolve with football at that point.
Yeah.
Like we said earlier on, you've got to keep going forward, or you run the risk of going backwards.
Yeah.
And this season's proved it. Whether it's been a conscious decision by the board to try and do this season on the cheap, for want of a better word. I know we can't spend 100 million every transfer window, but there was some very glaring deficiencies going into the season, the midfield being one of them.
Yeah.
And we never addressed it. We've not signed a midfielder since Adam Forshaw signed.
Yeah.
And to me, that's a bit worrying.
There's a positive, actually. I feel like Forshaw's been brilliant.
Mate, Forshaw and Rodrigo, for me, in the last couple of games have been absolutely outstanding. And Rodrigo got some shit massively, and some of it deserved as well. But I feel like we've seen why we're signing him now. And he's a 10. He's a 10. He's not a 9, he's a 10. And he links the play so well.
I banged the Rodrigo drum a bit, that he needs games.
Yeah.
And he's got them games now, and you're getting a better
Same
Rodrigo.
with Firpo, and I don't think Firpo has had 2 bad games really in the last 2 games.
I think Firpo going forward is fantastic.
Mate, I think Firpo did a job on Salah last night, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Other than the penalties, what did Salah do?
Yeah,
that's it.
He never, and on a yellow card as well.
Yeah, I feel like out of context, if you say, "Oh, Salah got 2 goals," if you watch the game, he didn't deserve 2 goals.
No. Anyway, let's get a few comments, because there are quite a few coming in. Ruben Ritterband, sorry. There's a nostalgia attached to Bielsa, which is why the fan base is so undecided over him. Most teams would sack their manager at this point. Leicester sack their manager who won them the title. That's a good point. Jim Ogden, the mistakes have already been made. We now have to live with the consequences. Summer window, January window. And that's at the point we're discussing about the summer and all that type of stuff. Ultimately, from now till the end of the season, we've got Marcelo, and this team will either, under his stewardship, will either dig us out or they won't.
Either way, Bielsa will have left us in a better position than he found us, and I think,
unless that's back in the championship, then.
Well, no, but even then, there's the players we've got, and
and like you look at, I mean, if we went, I guess, testing fate, but if we went down, like you'd probably say Melia goes, but we'd probably get another keeper. You've got if we get a new manager, which you probably will do if he goes down. Cody Drama at right back. Bring Leif Davies back at left back. You've got Cresswell, Struick. Helder at centre back. All right, maybe need a plus. Depending how you're going to set out, you need some more midfielders. You keep Forshaw, you keep Bate.
We need that. We need that second, not the second string, but we need some quality in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We need. You look at the two games and we just lack a bit of quality. Whereas you look at Liverpool. I know Liverpool are a totally different entity to us, but you know they hook Thiago and bring on Henderson, which you know you could argue that's a kind of Stuart Dallasy type substitution for us in a couple of years' time, where we take off a good central midfielder and we bring on Stuart Dallas.
But like we discussed with Dallas, like I've said it a few times, if you have a full team that of players playing in their position, Dallas doesn't start, but he's there if you get into the position where you need someone to come and fill in.
Yeah,
he's a great player to have on the bench.
This is the thing with some of the championship players like Ayling and that. I'm happy for them to stay on as squad players. You know what I mean? Because again, if you bring Ayling in or Dallas in, like you say, one or two subs, I'm happy with that. You know what I mean? For the sake of cutting off, to spite your face, like if we've got a squad of decent players that are in form or just cruising, and you bring in Ayling, I think Ayling will feed off of that, and I think that they're good players on their day.
Less pressure on him.
Exactly. Yeah. That's massive.
Where, like I said earlier, if we're being honest, he's probably at his peak at this.
I think it highlights the individual flaws more when the overall team is obviously.
I also wonder if in Luke Ayling, and I'm not saying he's been terrible all season, which he hasn't, but he's had a tough season as a lot of the players have.
Massively,
and I wonder how much of it is a psychological thing with Luke Ayling. Gets bombed from Arsenal, told him he's not good enough. Goes to Yeovil, bounces all the way back, like he's reached the sort of pinnacle of his career, that's it. I'm in the Premier League now, and it must be hard to sort of remotivate yourself. There was this famous saying by a boxer, I can't remember it, where he said it's really difficult to get out and run at 4 in the morning when you're sleeping in silk sheets.
Yeah.
There's got to be an element of that to it as well.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the big things for Tyler Roberts for me, was like you sense a player's goal has been reached when you're looking at the form on the pitch. Are they, you sensed it, didn't you, last season when there were some players that were continuing to drive on and some players that were just like, I'm in the Premier League now.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Mate, I've said this about Tyler Roberts since day dot.
Yeah.
I would not sell him. I would loan him out because I'm still not sure what he is. What does he do?
Yeah.
Is he a 10? Is he a 9? What is he? So I would not sell him in the summer. I would loan him out.
He has that technical ability. He's just putting that into some kind of use on the pitch.
He needs a run of games, doesn't he? Ultimately, to see what he's all about.
But then again,
for us,
and it's not in the Premier League, based upon what we've seen.
But he needs to pull his finger out because he's been, for me, overtaken by a 19-year-old.
Mate, I thought he did okay when he came on. Tyler Roberts last night. Okay, I've got to give him credit where credit's due. I thought he did okay.
It came on at a half time where Liverpool had kind of
they were playing with us. They were toying with us at that point.
So lads, just kind of move on from this because we're just probably going to go around in circles all night.
We've picked out some positives.
We've got some positives out of it. So to put you on the spot a little bit, are Leeds United going to get relegated this year? Because I've seen a real shift in people who said we're banging trouble and probably are going to get relegated.
I mean, you can see that. I mean, we've shipped goals for fun. In the last few weeks, we didn't beat Newcastle
when we should have.
Yeah,
we got fucking thumped by Everton.
The loss.
I do think the Everton one was a one-off. I've not seen Everton, and I've seen other non-Leeds stuff talk about Everton. Like I said, that was a one-off. They've not played like that since.
Well, it's Fat Frank getting them up for it. It's clear as day.
So I guess that's an isolation thing. But I think there's 3 obvious games that Brentford, Watford, Norwich.
Yeah.
Well, we have to win them 3. That's the given. If we're going to stay up, we have to win them 3.
Yeah. But then for me, I was thinking of this earlier. And I was thinking, well, if we lost to Newcastle, then you can't really pin your hat on any.
Well, no, you
games,
can't.
Can you?
So the Newcastle game, we was very, very unlucky. I think we probably should have. It was one of those we should have been out of the chop at half time.
We should have been 3-0 up at half time, and we weren't.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Just coming to this before we move it on a little bit. 10th of March, it's Leeds against Villa. 7:45 kickoff.
But before that, I mean, you got Spurs, who, I mean, you're probably going to get a reaction. Maybe. And you're against Son.
I don't say out anymore. I've become a fucking...
No, but granted, they've got Son, Kane, all them good players, but they've won 1 in 5, isn't it?
You'd imagine they're as low in confidence as us.
Yeah.
And it appears that there's a bit of ruptions in the camp.
To be honest, the last 3 games, every time I've said that player's shit, they've scored against us. So,
right.
So I'm not going to say anything.
Kane's brilliant. Well, he is. But, but there's opportunities there. What we do need is a bit of luck and something going our way. And then maybe we have to earn that as well.
I think you make
by not doing stupid shit, by playing players in the positions
and play the quarters. Play the quarters. Just play be solid for 15 minutes. Not play into the game for 15 minutes. We're not confident enough to go on the offensive from get go. But we can. We've just got at Liverpool to be honest, for a bit. We've got Man United for a bit.
I think all the games we've had a shot, haven't we, in the first 15 minutes? Like we've had the first. But we've proved that we can create the first chances.
But again, and this is the bit coming back in. It's a little bit, the people who abuse you if you dare say anything bad against anybody. But again, like a lot of that is we're not taking chances because we haven't got a striker, or we're playing a winger as a striker. And then people go, yeah, but Bamford's injured.
Striker.
And go, yeah, but we're foolish enough not to bring another striker in, or not to play the teenage superstar that we've supposedly got in as ranks. No, like it's all right taking it on face value, but there's always a background to everything. But after them games, we've got
I said Spurs, and then we've got Leicester, who are very hot and cold.
Yes.
Yeah. They could be, maybe if we get 2 draws from them, they're good results.
Yeah, and then after that, mate, we've got...
But we can get on.
We've got Villa. Yeah. We've got Villa, Norwich, Wolves, Southampton and Watford. The games after that.
Honestly, you can't say anything, can you, really?
Villa, they're not as good as...
We could have nicked it down there.
They had a good start under Gerrard, that bit of a bounce, but we could have beaten them, and then they got pumped at the weekend.
Norwich are having a bit of a resurgence which scares me slightly. But again, this should be beatable.
Yeah.
Wolves, we're watching them now. They are a decent side.
They're steady away,
yeah. So, take a point down at Molineux. Southampton, we owe them one after we just didn't even turn up down at...
When it gets to sort of playing Southampton, I mean, how many games is there towards the end of the season?
Well, that's on the 2nd of April.
Yeah. So we're getting towards the end, maybe not quite. Maybe Southampton by then are mid-table. They're maybe not going for it as much. Yeah.
And then we've got Watford. So that is a run of 5 games there where you look on the paper and we are Leeds United glasses on. You can see 3 wins from them.
Oh, yeah.
That has to be the minimum.
Yeah. Whatever guys they come in. 3 wins from them.
And then, so that takes, what are we on now? 23?
23. 3 wins, another 9 would take us to...
30.
Yeah, 32. 32.
Yeah.
I think 35 keeps us up this year.
Yeah, so we've
got to find 3 points from the last however many games it is. We're Brentford to play last game of the season.
Yeah, and hopefully you'd like it to be safe by then and we're not involved. But yeah.
I think out of all this, I think Brentford, and I have to put my hand up here and say I apologise to Burnley because I said they were sticking pin in them, they're dead and buried. But do you know what?
They've done some business with that Weghorst, haven't they?
Yeah, it looks that way, doesn't it? But I think they've conceded 2 goals in 4 games, did I say earlier? Them games are Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea, and another team, and they've only conceded 2.
Maybe that's something that suits Burnley, that of how they play. That they I guess people say it about us that we've not gone out to not get beat like loads. We go out and try and take the game. Burnley don't. They're going to be compact, not do out fancy, try and take the chances when they get them. But they're going to have to go out against teams like us. Teams like, I think they've got Newcastle in a few games. They've got quite a few of the teams to play around us. They're going to have to go out and try and win games.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to stay up otherwise.
Yeah.
It's all well and good not losing against scum, City, Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, what have you, but they need to go and win games. Can they go and do that against teams where it's going to be a more open game because they have to do that.
Yeah, ultimately, we're in the best position now because it's very much still in our hands. As if, whereas the bottom three are still relying on people slipping up and having to win games themselves. Where at the moment for us, it's we do our bit. We don't even need to worry about them.
We're very much closer that we have to start doing our bit.
Yeah, and for me, I came out the ground last night and said we have to beat Spurs on Saturday just to stop the rot a little bit.
Yeah,
just to or not even beat them. Don't get beat.
Yeah,
don't get beat.
I mean, a win on Saturday. I guess I don't really, on Football Manager when they ask you about like who plays first and who plays second, like last and stuff like that. And to me, it don't matter like when you play.
We need sponsoring by Football Manager.
No, but it's just a good example.
Yeah,
so like it doesn't matter when you play. If you win, you win. If you lose, someone else is going to win and go above you in the table or whatever, or catch you up in the table. So yeah, but maybe if we go get a good result against Spurs, and then it puts pressure on some others, and then that's when you get a good weekend that you've got a good result. Other teams haven't done as well, and then you get sort of the rewards from that. You're a bit further away from everyone else that's below you.
Yeah.
Well, like I said earlier, I think the squad needs to just, the little bit of infighting and bad attitudes and whatever. I think the squad just need to go into the dressing room and just have at each other. Just go, you're shit, you're.
I don't remember it.
And just get it out, clear the air. Because
I don't think there's a clear the air thing to have. I think it's just there's that much going wrong that there's nothing to clear the air. What
I think,
they need to stop as a team. They need to stop things going wrong.
Yeah. I think Melia needs an arm around him.
They just need to stick together. Because no one's going to change.
Yeah.
Nobody new's coming in. No new players are coming in.
But that's got to stick together. I mean. I think they need to clean slate it from now. You know what I mean? We've shipped a lot of goals. Just clean slate it from a psychological point of view and just.
I think they do that anyway as a team from what they say and stuff like that. Yeah. And stuff like Forshaw got interviewed after the game and he says, yeah, it's disappointing, but we've got a game to go. But
they say that, but
it that right.
It doesn't feel like it feels like the last few games in particular have snowballed. It doesn't feel like
because they started well. They've done well the first 15 minutes, but then something happens. Koch gets injured. Liverpool get the penalty, and then it all starts to snowball from that. It's never. I don't think it's ever anything between the team.
Yeah,
it does get that way because of the game and how the game's going. They all start pointing at each other and what have you, which is natural as a human, I guess. But you can't. I don't think it's anything in the team that there's any sort of bad thing there. But it's when things aren't going well, people get at each other a bit. And that was your fault. That was your fault.
It's probably a frustration
because of everything that's diminishing the confidence of everyone.
And it's a frustration as well because they know they're playing well in the times, and then concede a penalty, concede a set piece, whatever it is. And we'll have to just wait and see. Looking forward to Spurs then this coming weekend. Early kickoff on the Saturday. Give us some ideas of scorelines then. Start with you, Ben. How do you think we get on? Mate, this feature's going to be shit if you just go, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean...
What, is this Raggy's predictor now?
Well, yeah, it is, but Raggy's not here, so I'm to make it up.
Right. Well, I guess, first thing, where do you go team-wise? Obviously, Melia is going to be in net.
I would go...
Ayling has to go back to right back. I don't care who else plays centre back.
Yeah, agreed.
Play 100%. Him right back.
Yeah.
Because that's something we've missed all season as well, that he gets forward well, and when he's done that, we create stuff.
Go on then, man. What would you go with? If you were picking team Saturday, what would you go with?
I think Llorente comes back in because you have to play... If he's fit...
Apparently he's got an hamstring injury, according to someone in the comments. So.
Well, then it's Cresswell and Strauch.
Yeah, go Cresswell.
Yeah, I'd have to go Cresswell, I think.
Unless there's anyone else that can come back in. If Koch...
what's concussion protocols? Has he got?
Is it 2 weeks?
2 weeks, I think.
I think it'd probably depend on how bad it is. I don't know.
Quite ready yet.
Maybe not.
After all the fuss has been made around it, Leeds will stick rigidly to the protocol. So if it's 2 weeks, it'll be 2 weeks.
So, but either way, 2 centre backs.
Yes, please.
Paul left back because
he's done all right.
Yeah. Cresswell or Hjelde.
It depends how long Helder's out for, but
yeah.
I'd go Melia, Firpo, Strauch.
I mean, it'd be nice if Helder was back. Helder's left-footed, isn't he?
Yeah.
Is Cresswell? Well,
Cresswell's right-footed, but
Strauch's
left-footed, I think, isn't he? Or both.
In the midfield, I'd go Forshaw in the holding.
Yep.
I would go Dallas.
I'm not a huge fan of that, but yeah.
He's
I
done
like
well,
Forshaw in the 8, but
he did well second half against Scum, and he did well last night in the
keep that
sort of
momentum
holding,
going.
if you like.
Maybe against someone like Spurs, I mean, it's not going to happen, is it? But you go to double pit.
Oh no, get out! Get out of my house.
Two like that, and then I think you have to go Rafinha right, James left, Rodrigo in the 10.
See, I have a different opinion.
And Joffrey up front.
I would go Joffrey up front, Rodrigo in the 10. I would go Harrison and James out wide, just because I was a bit upset with Rafinha's body language.
I think Rafinha's clearly better when he comes on off the bench.
I don't know. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that, he's done a lot of traveling, been to Brazil, all this type of stuff. But he's a little bit of his body language. So a little bit at Villa, so a little bit at Scum. So not so much at Scum because he came on second half, but so a little bit last night at Anfield. And it's naturally going to get people drawing conclusions that he's got one foot out the door kind of thing.
Well,
I'm not having that. Thing, I don't. But I think he's stuck here anyway.
Oh, yeah, I don't think it's
so.
The case,
why would he be sulking?
Yeah,
he's sulking because he's not getting anything. He's the kind of player who wants to be on the ball and making stuff happen. It's not working for him.
It's like him and Rodrigo are both the same temperament, aren't they? Like when it's going well, God, they're like, you can see the beaming into it. They're loving it, and it's like Pablo used to do. I think it's like a Latin, Spanish thing. It's just like, they wear the hearts on the sleeves.
I tell you what would be nice on Saturday. The little known Patrick Bamford being on bench. That'd be nice Saturday, but it's not going to happen. Anyway, so
why dangle that?
Yeah, results. What we're going result wise?
2-1 Leeds. Get in there before you.
Well, gonna go with it. 2-1 Leeds. Yeah,
it'd be nice. It'd be nice to win, but just to see some camaraderie and
1-0 Leeds. I'm going for. And
you think we'll keep a clean sheet?
I can't help but feel like a clean sheet would be an incredible confidence boost for a team that's just shipped what feels like 1 million goals in 10 games.
A clean sheet against a team with Son and...
But they've just got beat 1-0 by Burnley, mate.
Yeah, but that's Burnley. Who do that?
Well, let's be Leeds and...
Yeah, let's be Leeds
and... fucking be Leeds and stop,
I'd do it 6-5 Leeds.
7-6.
Yeah.
Do we start looking at other games as well now? Like Southampton, Norwich.
Who have Brentford got this weekend out of interest?
Brentford play Newcastle.
Right, they're fucked. Newcastle will win. They're buying the way out. Who've Burnley got this weekend?
Burnley play Palace.
Right, Palace have just battered Watford 4-1. They'll be riding on confidence.
Yeah.
Who've Watford got?
Watford play Manchester United.
That's them fucked. And who have Norwich?
Watford beat Man U.
Norwich play Southampton tomorrow night.
Norwich play Southampton tomorrow night.
That's another thing. Yeah, what Manchester United are going to want revenge against Watford for that.
Yeah, but the thing is, mate, you look at that. If Norwich get beat tomorrow night, and
Everton play Manchester City as well,
ultimately against Spurs, we don't like. It'll be a travesty if we got beat again because of the fact that they're so low on confidence.
Yeah.
But if the other teams around us also lose, it's not such a massive deal. But the problem is Burnley are picking up points. Norwich are playing reasonably well.
How long can I guess
rely
the
on
two
others?
teams are sort of Newcastle and Burnley who have been picking up points. How long does that last for them now?
To be honest, mate, I think somebody said that it's like the bookies have got it as a 7-horse race for relegation.
Yeah.
Us, Everton, Brentford, Norwich, Watford, Burnley, and Newcastle. Yeah. That's the 7-horse race, essentially.
Yeah.
And I'd have to agree with that. But the one that I'm keeping an eye on is Brentford. Yeah. Because they are on 5 straight defeats, I think they've had. Something like that. They're a game behind us as well, as in they've had one more game than us. They're the team to keep a sort of bulb on what's going to happen with them.
Yeah. I mean,
what is it, Ben?
I'm remembering back.
They haven't won since the 2nd of January.
Ivan Toney's putting videos on saying fuck Brentford. Can't score to save his life. They're the ones to keep a bead on.
Well, just looking at the Spurs game as well. Do you remember the first half against them at their place?
I think I've tried to blur it out. Oh no, we were amazing.
The first half,
Calvin played as a centre half.
I think we won the first half, didn't we? I think.
Yeah, we won. We won the first half.
Yeah. So
Regulon scores, doesn't he, from a bounce off at post when really?
Yeah.
But so Mike, Ben still hasn't given me a result, but
seriously, I think we've got we've got a point to prove now, haven't we? I think we've got the Liverpool and Man U games out of the way. Spurs, we've shown that we can score against them, so just do that, but more.
Yeah, I'd agree.
And more than them.
And Spurs one win in 5, and last night there were talks that Conte were going to quit.
Yeah.
So let's see what their
I think he's just having a sulk.
What their mentality is like come this weekend.
Yeah.
Moving on,
we put the pressure on Brentford then, because if we I guess if we win, we'll go up to the 26. They'll be on 24.
I think the thing is just get Brentford below us, and then it's just another team to cram up them relegation spots.
I'm going to go for a Michael Normanton coaching manual and just do a win.
Yeah, do a win.
Let's just do lots of wins.
Yeah,
and then we'll worry about the rest when it fucking falls out. Really.
Play players that can score, and stop their players that can score.
So we've talked about who we think will play. What do you think the team will be though? Unchanged. Unchanged from the starting team from last night.
Yeah, possibly.
I've absolutely bet my life on that'll be the case.
This is the thing, for all the talk of El Loco being proper brutal and that, how come so many players are just undroppable? Is it because they don't have replacements?
It's because
surely that's detrimental.
It's because he trusts his senior players. That's what it is.
Yeah, but sure, like we said about having players that can challenge, it's so detrimental to the squad because you can have the shittest game of your life, but you'll still play the next game.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving on then, we have covered this quite extensively. Big shout out to the Flatback 4 we can find on social media. Send us some t-shirts. I've got mine on. These guys have not. We've decided not to win on tonight's podcast. But if you go check out Flatback 4 on Twitter, I'm wearing the Legends
I've got
print,
next,
which is a top class shirt. It's sort of 3 table football.
Next is what I say when we play and concede the first goal.
4 table football guys. Yeah. Obviously, sporting Legends numbers and similarities.
Is that the Wilco midfield?
It is indeed the Wilco midfield. Indeed. Mike, what's occurring at the terrace of late?
Well, we've just
seen
brought
some
out
more swim shorts, which are nice.
Yeah, the swim shorts are class. We've been selling loads of them. We've still got all the streetwear, all the blackout gear. We've restocked, I think, the blackout t-shirts, the Leeds blackout t-shirts, and we've just brought out, the Magic Heat Reveal mugs.
Oh yeah, you can also get yourself a Talking Shut mug, which I'm currently showing the camera now.
The Talking Shut mugs are on there. We just today released the
heat release ones.
Yeah, they're like
as they get hot, they show the thing.
Yeah. So the kit mugs for those, which would be cool little gifts.
Do they like change kit?
That'd be cool. I don't think so. I think
did you hook
die-cast?
Did you hook anybody up with any terrace related Valentine's stuff this recent Valentine's Day, Mike?
But to be fair,
being the player that you are, I'm joking, but
no. To be fair though, we did sell a lot of Bristol Rovers Valentine's stuff. I did design.
Is the gas a big deal in Bristol?
They've won 3 games in a row now.
Joey Barton's gas winning.
Joey Barton's Black and Blue Army.
Black and Blue, yeah, instead it.
I think
you'll find it was found innocent. Anyway, moving
on. But yeah, no, we're just
not for the cigar though.
No, I got done for that. Didn't
Yeah,
it's strange ways, didn't he, for that? Anyway,
didn't he do that opposition manager?
Well? Yeah, but he got away with that. Got found
Fleetwood Town or wherever it was.
No, it was Barnsley.
Is it Barnsley?
Barnsley.
Matt Struber.
He didn't hit the Barnsley manager.
Hans Gruber, Hans Gruber, the baddie out of Die Hard, he nutted him in tunnel.
Really?
Allegedly.
Jesus.
But he didn't. He got found innocent. So anyway, by the way. Hi, Joey.
Yeah, just
maybe the Barnsley manager headbutted himself like that time. Like that time Dakara bit himself.
Or a classic. Anyway, sorry, mate.
It's just Amorabieta won it.
Amorabieta, yeah.
He bit himself.
But he had the same teeth profile as Dakara.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
He took Dakara's teeth out and bit himself.
Moving on. Mike?
Fucking Twitter's mad, isn't it?
Yeah. I've lost
Anyway, if you want to get some,
I was going to say as well, you can also use the request a kit feature as well for any, if you want to add to your particular collection of Leeds United kit mugs.
Can I have a Ukraine kit mug to support the Ukrainians?
And also give them a follow on Twitter because
the terrace or Ukraine.
Either they roll out competitions on match days as well.
We do, we do a lot of it's what drives our social media is giveaways, and we're very good people.
You are indeed. Anyway,
buy lots of stuff, please.
Go find it, terracestore.com. Top guys.
I want to.
Can
buy a
we
house.
sign Lee Hyung, whatever he's called?
Yeah,
from
what a
Wolves,
player.
'cause he's good.
Hang Wang is he called? Anyway, let's get to this.
He's good.
Hey,
Shithouse of the week.
The shithouse of the week
Yeah, I'm
segment.
gonna have to turn my mic down.
What's up?
which one are you?
First shithouse of the week.
Yeah, turn
Oh.
his mic. Just turn it off.
No, I don't think that's mine.
That's me. Speak, Ben.
All right.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, that one.
No, that's
that
not
would
you. Come on, sort this
Anyway.
out.
Right.
Right, we've muted Ben for shithouse
Yeah.
of the week because he'll get carried away. So we've got rid of him.
He will
Uh,
incite World War III.
This week's nominations for shithouse of the week are as follows: referees in general for their biased Leeds nature. Bruno Fernandes for just being a complete whinging shitbag.
A fucking whinge bag.
Ralph Little.
Absolute
Ralph
Little
Little looking.
Aldi looking Ralph
I think
Little
it's like-
bastard.
It's really mad watching him live because he'll go down and then he'll sort of sit up and gesture towards the referee.
Like when Tyson Fury got knocked out by
And then-
Deontay Wilder and sat
And then
up.
if the referee
Like the
doesn't do
Undertaker.
anything,
Undertaker.
he has another roll and like waves his arms around.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
just think, if
it's
he were our
embarrassing.
player, I'd boo him.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'd boo him as well.
I don't think I wouldn't have any of their players, honestly, just after seeing that game.
I don't
It's
know.
I don't
shocking.
know.
I'd have
Pogba were decent, yeah, to be fair. I'd not be too hasty, but I wouldn't want him. But you know what I mean. So yeah, we've got them two now. Any other nominations, gents? Please don't say the obvious. We don't need that mentioned in this thing. I'm
Vladimir Putin.
Okay.
Prick.
Fernandez, the gent who Ben's just mentioned, or referees in general.
I'm sure there were another one this weekend.
Actually, COVID's gone now, isn't it? COVID's gone.
Yeah,
Officially from
COVID's
today.
finished.
Gone.
I suppose the commentary as well, just
I ain't looked to
licking
listen to
Salah's
any,
ass.
thankfully.
The commentary on the game.
When it's
just-
Stephen Warnock,
Was it Martin?
via
Yeah.
via
Yeah,
Hong Kong or
it
South
might have been
Africa.
Martin
Oh,
Tyler
my-
or something.
Yeah, Martin Tyler. And
Stephen Warnock
on,
is actually quite bad as a co-commentator.
Yeah.
He's a bit like Gary Monk. He's a walking like go on, clickbait article comment type of dude. Can't remember the word I'm looking for. Hey, in other news, have you seen that Mark Hughes has took over at Bradford?
That's mad, that,
That's
isn't
a
it?
decent appointment
Yeah,
for them. If
Jesus.
you can cope with having,
I really wasn't
three
expecting
pence
that.
in a-
When I think I saw Steve Evans was like trying to whore himself for it.
I don't believe you.
Yeah,
I don't believe
and
you.
and they get Mark Hughes. That's
It's
a good signing.
Yeah,
That
it is indeed.
that lass on Radio Leeds that hammered that Leeds fan last week, Silly Cope. She was buzzing about it earlier.
I don't know.
Rima.
What was that?
Rima Ahmed on Radio Leeds. Because when you listen
Oh,
to
right,
Radio
yeah, sorry.
Leeds and then you get back in car next day and it's Radio
It's
Leeds
still
again.
on. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that just happens to me all the time. I just leave it on. I don't change it. I'm too old for like Capital and that.
Well, Capital and all that now have been all bought out, so they're all the same.
Well,
Yeah.
not like
Stuff.
Capital off because they're the ones that pays money for when we
to
put
be
a
fair,
podcast
they
on.
do.
So good
What
for
is your
Global.
go-to radio station? I'm a massive fan of Absolute.
I like an
they
Absolute.
They are part of Global. as well.
Yeah.
I really like Absolute.
I quite like a bit of Five Live
Yeah.
Yeah.
talking about the
Apart from when the
and stuff's going on.
apart
that.
from when they try and set us up for Gone in 60 Suttons, and they
Oh.
only
Yeah.
ever put us in.
Do you
against
reckon
people
we've
we
been
can't
binned
win.
from that now?
Well,
because we fucked it off.
We refused to
Yeah.
do it, didn't we?
The lack
Do you
of
want to do
respect.
Gone in 60 Suttons, lads? What against Man United? No.
Well,
No,
mate,
you're
I'm not
right.
being funny, but
I'm not making a dick of myself on radio
Yeah.
before that.
the one we've done is
I'm
Liverpool.
talking Shut podcast instead.
Which one we done? Liverpool, Arsenal. And we done Liverpool, Arsenal, City, something else. I think we had shit ones. Anyway.
You did West Ham.
I did West Ham.
Oh yeah, you did West Ham.
I
didn't you?
did Norwich.
Lee Cooper's just said, "Where's Daniel Ayala nowadays? He was a staple of Shithouse of the week." Yeah, can you remember that when Daniel Ayala was our
Yeah.
Shithouse of the week every week?
It's
Um,
Putin's right hand, man.
Yeah, is he? Is
I don't know.
that a room you want to begin?
Yeah.
Okay. He's at Middlesbrough, isn't he? Sudborough.
Didn't he go back to Spain?
Oh, Ayala. I thought he was at Borough, isn't he?
Isn't he at Blackburn?
Blackburn.
He is at Blackburn.
He's at Blackburn.
I
yeah.
remember seeing him.
I've had him on
They've
Football Manager.
played. When did Blackburn play? I don't know. They've gone to shit since
They've started losing.
Brereton Diaz is injured.
The Chilean native that is Burton Diaz.
Yeah.
So are we going to give it to Bruno Fernandes for just being a shithouse then?
Or Putin.
Yeah, let's give it to Bruno Fernandes.
Fernandes.
We'll give it to Fernandes. So yeah, that kind of brings us to an end of episode 182 of the Talking Shut podcast, live from my settee. Next week we'll be live from another podcaster settee. I think that's the plan. We'll do
Yeah,
like
maybe.
a settee tour, maybe.
Oh, we
might
might
just-
last out and we'll go to mine.
Or we might just come in and use my settee again, whatever.
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
work it out. Anyway, big thanks to everybody who has tuned in. Bit of a difficult one for Leeds content creators to follow on from what's been a bit of a woeful string of results.
Peter Horman says, "Can you please talk a little about Meslier? Not good now.
I can keep this one really simple. He's better than Klaassen.
Yeah,
no choice but to leave.
I don't know about Klaassen.
He's better than Peacock Farrell, better than Casilla.
No, mate. The long and short of it now is he's the only goalkeeper we've got.
Like Ben says, get a consistent defense in front of him, get his confidence back up. And
they say what? He's only 21, still 22-ish.
Oh yeah,
you got all that changing in front of you at that age, and
he will still be a world-class goalkeeper.
Find me a better goalkeeper for $5 million.
If we keep him for 10 years, he's going to be world class.
Yeah, agreed.
And we'll be good, so it's fine.
Go find me a better goalkeeper for $5 million. You are.
You can look at you got as.
Hold on, I can beat you. Didn't Don Rummer go for free to beat
Kasper Schmeichel for $1 million?
I don't know.
No, but you look at David De Gea got done by that Rodrigo goal, and there's times in seasons where Man United have been hammering him.
Bloody hell, do you remember Alisson channeling his inner Kiko Casilla? It happens, but he's a young lad. He doesn't have an experienced goalkeeper around him. We've got a goalkeeper coach, but we haven't got a 30-odd-year-old goalkeeper to go. Yeah. We haven't got anyone like that. So he's basically out there on his own.
Off his back.
Yeah, I'd challenge anyone to, fill his boots.
Agreed.
Jay Patel says he will play for France without a doubt. I don't know if he will, because you've got Lloris in now. You've got a lot of other really good French
Plus, we need to.
Who you can't remember right now.
Plus,
Lafont, Tipman, Areola.
Areola,
Tipman.
That was one.
We've got that Bulkin as well. As a youngster.
One thing about I was gutted that we didn't play Koch against Liverpool, because we could have had Koch and Matip on the same game. But
but Koch's head were injured.
Yeah,
you don't want to injure your Koch head, do you?
And Matip was surging through the centre, and
we hadn't done it. We hadn't done Koch jokes for a while. Anyway, sure, leave it there. Big thanks to everybody who's tuning in for 182. Big thanks to the Terrace for continuing to support us. And if you are listening to that didn't make any sense. If you are listening to this back on I'm quite tired of a late back. If you are listening to this back on a podcast, please like, subscribe, share it with all the other folk knocking about and all that type of stuff. And we really appreciate your interactions with us. Big thanks. And we'll see there.
Well played that by White.
By White's just falling off the floor. See there.
Yep.